Hey guys, the first thing I have in this video is actually the review of the work we did in class today. So if you didn't finish this work, or I know room 9, we didn't get a chance to correct these, so you could do a quick check of these to make sure your answers were correct before moving on to the page about rock cycle. So the first 3 pages we read were about rocks, the types of rocks, and how they are made. So the main idea was rocks for pages 24 to 26. We know that rocks are made of a mixture of minerals. I've told you that a bunch of times. Minerals are not rocks, but rocks are made of minerals. And that igneous rocks in particular are found around volcanoes because they form from cooled magma or lava. And the properties for these igneous rocks that cool very quickly are they're fine-grained and glassy, like that shiny black obsidian that I showed you in class. But I do want you to know that other types of igneous rocks that cool more slowly are more coarse-grained. They have bigger chunks to them, and we'll look at that more in class. Sedimentary rocks are formed from layers of sediment, sand, soil, clay, gravel, and under heat and pressure they compress into layers until they become a new rock, like sandstone, if we got a chance to see that in class. Metamorphic rock, the third category, is formed in a chemical reaction where heat and pressure actually make a new kind of rock that has molecules that are rearranged to form a whole new rock with all different properties. So this was a review for 24 to 26. Now I'm going to read with you page 27 about the rock cycle, and then you'll fill in the notes on the back of the paper on your own. So the rock cycle. One thing I want to clue you into on up here is that the main idea of this page is actually at the end, which you don't find very often when you're reading nonfiction. Typically it's at the beginning of a paragraph or of a page. In this one it's actually at the end. So let's read the page, and then we can highlight. Rocks do not remain the same forever. The matter that makes them up is cycled and transformed into different categories over time. Oh, there's that word matter again from the other unit. Okay, I'll use blue. Rocks not the same forever. The matter is cycled and transformed into different categories over time. So one type of rock can be turned into another kind of rock, depending on different processes it goes through. For example, rocks on Earth's surface break down into sediment. That sediment can collect into layers, and over time, heat and pressure can compress, or squeeze, the layers of sediment into a new sedimentary rock. So let's say, rocks on Earth's surface can break down into sediment. The sediment can collect into layers, and heat and pressure can compress the layers into a new sedimentary rock. Or the sediment can get pushed deep into Earth's crust by the movement of tectonic plates. There, it can undergo chemical reactions that change its properties, turning it into a metamorphic rock. Eventually, any rock pushed deep into Earth's interior will melt into magma, which seems crazy to us, but it is possible. All right, let's highlight. Let's see. Sediment pushed deep into Earth's crust by tectonic plates. It can undergo chemical change in its properties. It can chemical reactions can change its properties. Sorry, I just want to pick that for a minute. And it can turn into a metamorphic rock. I think I'll also add any rock pushed deep will melt into magma. That seems good. Okay. This is a great picture, by the way. I know it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can look at it more closely in your book. It has a really good breakdown of all these parts. If magma reaches the surface, it will cool and harden into a rock again. And the processes that form, break down, and reform rock from one category to another are called the rock cycle. So you can see how this is actually really the main idea of the whole page. This could have been at the beginning, right? But instead they actually had it at the end. So if magma reaches the surface, it cools and hardens into rock again. And the definition of rock cycle is, right, processes that form, break down, reform rock from one category to another. Rock cycle. Okay, so if you could, let's see what's under here. If you could go ahead and flip your paper over, we know the main idea of the page is rock cycle, or I had added this on here, you don't have to. The rock cycle, processes that forms, breaks down, and reforms rock. You're going to go ahead and fill in the detail part. Look at what we highlighted. It will really help you. I think you'll be able to do it. And if you have time tonight, spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the 14 definitions in your packet, starting with mineral, and we will look at this more tomorrow in class. Mrs. B signing off.